Hello and welcome to the Sports Bench with Greg and friends. Tonight we're back on the subject talking about the Los Angeles Lakers. And I think actually there's so much for me to talk about. I'm going to break this up into a couple of parts. So we're going to do part one tonight. Going to talk about the Lakers, but specifically the last 6 years of the Lakers since the bubble championship. Now, I don't know if everyone's like me, being a Laker fan, but I'm so disappointed and tired of losing so much in the last 6 years. Now, people are going to say, well, what are you talking about? We've won the last 6 years. Really, think about it. With AD and LeBron James, the last 6 years, along with them, I've been sitting and watching other teams reach the finals and win the NBA championship. They have been sitting down in their chairs with their families and watching basketball pass them by because they haven't been good enough to get their teams back to where they need to be. Now, if you want to rewind all this and we want to talk about all the kind of different reasons why the Lakers haven't gotten there, I think really what it comes down to is the age-old mentality that the Los Angeles Lakers have. They've had it for years, but they broke it for a little while. Okay, if you can remember, after Kobe Bryant retired and they were out of his massive contracts, they were on a major rebuild. They were using the draft and they were drafting players that actually could help them rebuild and be young. And they were building a young team. They had Luke Walton as their coach, not an experienced coach, but he had experience a lot more than J.J. Redick has. And he started out building a program, modeling it kind of like the Golden State Warriors, trying to develop personnel that they could kind of pick and choose where they were going to put these guys and draft in the right order. So if you remember right, the players that the Lakers drafted, and we're talking about not Rob Pelinka, but we're going back before that, okay, before Magic Johnson. We talked about for a number of years, some of the Buss brothers and the Lakers drafted really well. They drafted Randall, Julius Randle. They drafted Demarcus Russell. They also they also drafted a number of players. Ingram was another player that they drafted. Josh Hart was another player that they drafted. Now, once basically Magic Johnson and Rob Pelinka showed up, then they started making mistakes in their draft. They could have drafted some really good players when they got to be the second pick in the NBA, and they didn't do that. They went ahead and they drafted a player that now is not doing very well, Lonzo Ball, instead of drafting who they should have drafted. But instead, the Lakers were they were on the right track. They were building a young team. But once Magic Johnson and Rob Pelinka showed up, they went back to the age-old sequence of having to get a superstar or a couple of superstars, have the fans fall in love with them, and go ahead and start winning championships. Well, that's essentially what happened. They traded off all of their draft capital and future draft capital, like 3 number 1 picks, to the New Orleans Pelicans. They got AD, paired him up with LeBron James, and boy, the championships were supposed to start showing up. Well, it did. Their first year together, without injuries, they did really well. The team that Rob Pelinka put together, the right pieces at the right time, and they had players developed. Like we talk about a couple of different things, like Alex Caruso, somebody that came out of nowhere, started developing into a really good player. They won a bubble championship. Okay, I'll call it whatever you want to say, but they did win a championship. But what happened since then? Basically, they have just fallen down on their faces. Players that they had, Lakers, I'm going to list the players that they had. They sang every year, Rob Pelinka, every year, and it's no different this year, we need to draft or we need to sign free agents that are 3-and-D. That means they can shoot the three-point shot and they can play really good defense. But here's the players that they had. Josh Hart. He's now playing in the finals, going to be playing in the finals with the New York Knicks. He's a starter. He's a really good player. He's hard-nosed. He brings a great attitude. They've had Trevor Ariza originally, and then they traded him off. Basically, they picked up Ron Artest, which basically only lasted a year or two because Ron Artest got older and he had to retire. So they got rid of Trevor Ariza. Kandarius Caldwell Pope. You remember him? Part of the bubble championship team. a really great 3-and-D player. He went on to play with Denver, and they got a couple of championships with him being in the starting lineup. The Lakers had him. They got rid of him. Why? Because they traded for Russell Westbrook, and we're going to get into this in a minute. But they traded a lot of the good players and draft picks to get Russell Westbrook, who at its time was coming right off of his prime. He was still, I think, 31 years old. He was a triple-double every night. He ran a team. He fast-breaked a team. He played defense. He was just a blur on the court. Okay, they got him. They let Danny Green go. Won a championship with him. Again, bubble year. 3-and-D player. Okay, he's getting older. They let him go. And then lastly, Alex Caruso. I need to take a pause with that one because he was turning into a great player. He won a championship with the Lakers, but they went ahead and let him sign because both Jeanie Buss, Magic Johnson, and Rob Pelinka got cheap because they thought that Taylor Tucker Horton was going to be the guy. And where is he right now? I don't even know if he's even playing in the league. Where's Alex Caruso? Won a championship already, playing with the Oklahoma City Thunder. It pains me to even say that, but he's a great hard-nosed player. He's a valuable rotational piece for them. So that's the players that the Lakers let go. And then what do they need right now? 3-and-D players. It just sickens me the way that Rob Pelinka has run this team, and every year it's always a flawed team. There's something wrong, okay? But what you're not adding all into this is, in the 6 years, how much production and winning has AD and LeBron James really brought the Lakers? They've been eliminated either in the first round or the second round. I mean, think of it. Just go look at the facts. I don't have to lie about it. Just look at the facts. It's the true facts. The Lakers, they finally got rid of AD. They got Luka Doncic. Okay, a wonderful trade. But the reason that they got rid of him, and Jeanie Buss said this. She said, we weren't winning with AD. Well, guess what? You're not winning with LeBron James either. Okay, you can make whatever excuses you want. The last 6 years, he's been sitting on the couch along with me and AD and watching the playoffs blow right past him. The Lakers have made major mistakes. And I think now they're going into a very critical part of their offseason. What are they going to do? Are they going to re-sign LeBron James? If they do, what are they going to sign him for? All right. And then we're talking about Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves wanting maybe possibly $40 million a year. He wants a max contract. Well, think about that. Do you really want to pay him that much? You have to think about it. They say they want 3-and-D players. Well, basically, Austin Reeves is one type of player. He is an offensive threat. He can create his own shot, and he's a good ball handler, but he is awful on defense. Other teams hunt Austin Reeves. What I mean by hunt, they run pick and rolls. The Lakers don't switch. The Lakers switch every pick and roll. So if you're a team coming in to play the Lakers, who's their weakest defensive player? Well, there's a number of them, but Austin Reeves, I would say, is probably the number one, unless you want to add Dalton Knecht, but he's not playing anymore. So Austin Reeves is their worst defensive player. What do? They get a big man on a switch. They do what they call a pick and roll, which if you know about basketball, you're looking to try to get somebody to switch on to your big man who's smaller, and then have your big man roll to the rim to either get the ball and score underneath or actually just get a wide open layup because the player doesn't follow him. Austin Reeves does not play defense. Now, defense, I've always said, defense is a choice. It's your own choice whether you want to play defense or not. It has nothing to do with your physical capabilities, all right? You might not be gifted as physically as other players in the league, but you have to want to play defense. You have to be aggressive. You have to dedicate energy on that side of the court instead of on the offense. You have to rest on offense, play hard on defense, and he just doesn't do it. And I'm not leaving anybody out. LeBron James is 41. He's not playing defense either. All right. The Lakers play a soft zone. It's almost like a 2-1-2. James is in the middle and he just floats. Whoever comes his way, he picks him up. Or if he doesn't pick him up, he points at guys. Go ahead. Yeah, just go ahead. You go take him for me. Because he can't close out. He's too slow. He's too old. He saves all of his energy when he's not standing around to play on offense because that's where he's still good. That's where he's valuable. He's a playmaker. He can distribute the ball. He can shoot the ball. All right, that's where you're using him. But the problem is the Lakers already have that guy. They got Luka Doncic now, who does it better than LeBron. I'm sorry, he just does. He's younger, and he basically can shoot the ball through the lights out on any gym, and LeBron can't do that anymore. Okay, Austin Reeves, another great offensive player, but Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, Lakers, top three guys with LeBron, they don't play defense. So how are you ever going to compete against the San Antonio Spurs and against any of these teams? Oklahoma City, how are you going to defend them? I mean, how are you going to score on them? They play great defense. They're well coached. They're young. Yeah, something to keep in mind. They're young. The Lakers need to become younger, not older. What are they talking about? Going getting Giannis. All right, well, he's 32. And other players that are older. You know, you're expecting to go out in free agency, find a good, young 3-and-D player to clean up the mistakes of your 3 stars out there. That's what you're looking for. This year it was Marcus Smart, and he did a pretty good job. I commend him. He did a good job, but he was doing all the dirty work. Nobody else was. All right, now when you get the 3 stars off the floor and maybe have just one, then you got 4 guys that are playing decent defense, okay? But if you get those 3 on the floor together, yeah, it's not a very good thing. It just isn't. My video is short tonight. I wanted to break it up into a 3-parter, and I'm going to add just one more thing with this, and we're going to talk about re-signing LeBron James. All right. Now, to me, if I were the Lakers and you got new ownership coming in, they just laid off 12 people. They're looking to build a team around Luka Doncic. If they bring LeBron back in any form at all, and they sign him to any kind of contract, whether it's the mid-level exception or they pay him $30 million, $35 million, because that's what the media is. Hey, he's still worth that. No, he's really not, because he also plays the same position as Luka Doncic. Why you don't need to have redundancy in this, because LeBron is not a good third cog, and I said that in another video. He's not a good third cog. He needs to run an offense. But he badly wants to stay with the Lakers because next year is his retirement year. He wants to do a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar retirement year, where every city he shows up, they give him a gift, they give him accolades, they applaud him and everything. That's what next year, what the Lakers is going to be about with LeBron James, a retirement tour. And I don't know about any other Laker fans. I don't want to see it. I don't. You know, have your retirement tour in Cleveland or someplace else. The Lakers need to build around Luka Doncic, and keeping LeBron on the team is not doing that. You're sacrificing money that you could get for a good younger player that can play defense. Okay, that's what you need. You don't need redundancy with LeBron James. So LeBron wants to desperately stay with the Lakers because he wants that retirement tour. He also thinks he can probably get Bryce James drafted or at least signed to a contract by the Lakers before he retires, so the other son has money in the bank before he leaves the league. That's the way I see it. I think the Lakers can do so much better. And I'm going to talk about my next video about Austin Reeves and some of the other things that they should be doing. Now, that's my video for tonight. Thank you for watching. I so appreciate it. If you like my video, please give me a like. If you'd like to subscribe, please do. That would be great. You guys have a great night. We'll talk to you on part 2.